One. And we are recording on Tuesday, July 15th, 2025 at 12:50 p.m. Eastern Time with Mr. Joseph Oltmann and Joe Housekeeping Oltmann. And I was just saying, yeah, I don't really I found that whenever I keep Twitter on my phone, I always start with like the best of intention. I don't keep Facebook or Instagram on my phone because I feel like my brain literally rots when I use those. But Twitter is different because it really has replaced any semblance of news or what was left of the carcass of mainstream media. It obviously travels faster than anything else. Even Rumble, people got to put together a show, get it all going. A single tweet, it gets news out so much faster. But I find even though my tensions are, I'm like, I'm going to use this so I'm up to date on things. It always, and it's no one's fault but my own, I always find myself just looking up and realizing an hour's gone by. And then not only has an hour gone by, but I'm in a markedly worse mood. And then I find when I don't use it, it's not that I'm in a better mood because I'm putting my head in the sand. I find on like a spiritual level, I'm actually more appreciative of just like sunsets. I'm more appreciative of like the fact that I have running water. And so I feel like I truly, I mean, for lack of a better phrase, I feel like I get closer to God the less I use these apps. I start to become very grateful for things I take. Like my air conditioner just kicked on. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like it's hot and now it's not. I find, but it really is. It's the stuff you don't, there's ice.
Uh,
Ice used to be a luxury, man. They put it in train cars and covered it in sawdust, and only like Wall Street people could afford it. I find that when I don't dive into whatever the just satanic entropy dog shit of it all, I start to, I really get grateful for just little things. Like I call my mom every day. I'm like, my mom's alive. Not everyone has that. And I'm like, that's amazing. And so it's not just on like oh, Twitter stresses me out. It's like, well, world news is stressful. You should be up to date on it. It's not that. It's on like a much deeper level. I find in general, I am more appreciative of the gift of life. So I don't know how many people use that as an excuse to not be on Twitter, but like that's mine. And I don't. So that being said, you asked what we were talking about today. I don't know because I'm kind of out of the loop. So you tell me, Joe. What are we talking about?
I wish I was out of the loop.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't. It's I think that the human brain was only designed to consume so much information in one linear environment.
Hmm.
And today we are basically just sucking it all up. We're sucking up all the stuff that's happening. And not only are you sucking it up, but you're not sucking up truth, you're sucking up a bunch of lies. And so your mind is constantly at odds with what you're seeing or hearing and what reality is. And I don't, I think I probably need, I'm better when I step away from social media. I don't even look at it. And I thought, we have Untamed. I got a couple tech companies. We do great things. But I'm actually in a better place when I disconnect from the world. So I get what you're saying. And then I have to basically disappear for a bit in order to come back in just because there's so much I don't know, turmoil. And it's not even the turmoil that we're talking about from a news standpoint. It's the turmoil of, the sky is falling all the time. And you don't know if it's really falling or if it might be falling.
Well, it's
I don't know.
also it's it's like so your body holds on to every single calorie like it's the last because for the overwhelming majority, almost virtually all of it, 99.9% of Homo sapiens, it could be your last calorie. And as anyone knows, when you try to cut weight, it's hard and you're hungry and food looks good because that is technically 99% of the time that serves you well. You're out there, you're hunting, trying to get food, yet your body holds on to every calorie from every strawberry and piece of meat that you get. In the sliver of modern society, you don't need it all, but it's still, the systems are still there. It still tastes really good. in that same way, the very framework we have right now, if it bleeds, it leads. For the vast majority of Homo sapien existence, that was incredibly advantageous. You're in a village of you got 10 huts, and then somebody or somebody's husband gets eaten by an alligator, and that news goes through the village like that. Nobody cares about you found a strawberry. You go that, and why is that important? So we all stay away from that river, and now we're aware, and there's an alligator there. That was very, very beneficial. You didn't really worry about the alligators that hit the town 3 miles away because that's not your village. So now we have that same neuron framework that at any other point in human history was incredibly beneficial. But now we're sit right here. If it bleeds, it leads. Well, we now have access. Every phone is a node. You can, I guess, quote unquote, see everything in the world. You can look up news in any country right now, real time, and your brain thinks it's serving you. It's like, hey man, I'm going to show you the danger. You got to steer clear of that danger. But it's not, that's a poison plant or there's an alligator. It's there's a clash between Indian and Chinese or Pakistani soldiers. And then there's a spy ship off Taiwan. And then and Trump said this, and there was an ICE protest here, and then there was a fire there. And in the village,
You get to see it all real time. It's eight
well,
billion people.
and in the village where you saw that negative thing, you go, that sucks that alligator's there. And then, but that was it. There probably wasn't bad news for another couple months. So you started to just soak up all the good things, the new baby, the new bonfire pit you guys made. We don't get that break. It's alligators every second of every day. And there's no frame of reference to go, hey, your air conditioner works. And I think that is really what I may be experiencing when I unplug. The flip side is you do have a duty to be literate of what's going on in the world. Sticking your head in the sand isn't a noble thing. You can't just
But the other side is some of it's not real.
well, and
And
that's
some
a
of
huge
it's
yeah.
just debating the ridiculous, right? So, hey, let's cut off little boys' penises. I mean, I can't believe we're talking about that again. Anytime you want to take the human body and you want to alter it because you think it's going to make you psychologically feel better, you're a fucking retard.
Yeah.
Pardon my language.
No, yeah, you're
Right?
fucking
I
retarded.
mean,
No, you're
that's
a retard. No, you're mentally
so,
retarded.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that we actually debate that is silly to me. The fact that I watch videos that kind of push my mental construct, as far as am I being told the truth? And so I've been digging into the Holocaust. It's a bad thing to dig into
No,
because
it's not.
you
No, no. Truth doesn't mind being questioned. Question it all.
it does actually because it's not true. I
Well,
mean,
then
I'm
it's
not
not
saying the
true.
Holocaust doesn't exist, but I'm saying that they have problems. They got an
I'm
Olympic
saying
swimming
that
pool and they
nothing
got
is off
starting
limits.
blocks to run. Yeah, it
Nothing is
shouldn't
off
be.
limits. Nothing, the
It
flat earth
shouldn't
is
be.
not off limits. Nothing is off limits. And
And
fuck
flat
anybody who
Earth's
says
not
no.
off limits. Flat Earth, honestly, is not off limits because that's retarded too.
But that's what
But
I
I
mean
mean,
is
that's
nothing is off limit. Hey Joe, I don't think gravity is real. All right. Well, no, I can disprove it. But you know what? No one said gravity is real. Don't let them talk.
oh my
Nothing
gosh,
is off
stop
limits.
talking about that. If people find out that gravity is not real, we got big problems.
YouTube puts a
They
banner.
start floating around.
This man, he's pushing the gravity conspiracy theory that says there is no such thing as a gravitic force. He's a known misinformation agent. He's a Trumper. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah, you have. I'm settling in little by little into the nuances of conservative ink that they all stick together in this like weird little
yeah.
circle, right? And they so much want to be the cool kids and they want to basically cut out anybody that they see could be a problem. Now, me, I'm a problem, right? And the reason why I'm a problem is because I have loyalty. I do. I have an immense amount of loyalty to the American people, even the people that hate me. Like, I don't care. That's fine. Hate me. Um, because I think that you have to be able to reset expectations and get to a place where you're not chasing what's not true. Does that make sense? In other words,
Hmm.
you got to be able to speak truth. And because I could have a friend that does something wrong, and I'll be like, "Hey, you just did something wrong." It makes me an anomaly because people are like, "Oh, you're not allowed to call them out." Julie Kelly, Dan Bongino, Steve Bannon. I mean, I can go down. Paper Tigers. I call them paper tigers, right?
Hmm.
And Mike Davis, who went after Kyle Seraphin, Charlie Kirk, who went after Kyle Seraphin about talking about some of the stuff that any one of us should be questioning, right? But they build a narrative and they want you to follow that narrative, and then people follow those people on that narrative. And I'm thinking to myself, you cannot be this retarded. But people want to feel like they belong to something.
Mm-hmm.
So we have all these ops that are happening. We have all these bad people with bad intentions who frankly are retarded. They can't actually it's no different. The radical left that wants to cut off little boys' penises and groom kids and things like that, and Con Inc., they're no different.
No,
They're
not at all.
they're both they're both pimping stuff that we shouldn't be pimping, right? And you have this Jeffrey Epstein deal. I know you've probably heard a little bit about that over the last couple of days. 3 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, Julie Kelly and Steve Bannon and Charlie Kirk and all these people said a bunch of stuff about it doesn't matter. Let's get past it, right? Because they were told to get past it. They were told, hey, just stop talking about it. Let's stop people from talking about it. And you're not allowed to talk about that problem because they said so. It's no different than you can't talk about the Holocaust and the fact that there's some pretty major problems with, population census studies of,
Mm-hmm.
okay, previous to the Holocaust or previous to World War II, you had 15.8 million people. After World War II, you have 15.7 million people. I'm sure hundreds of thousands of people died,
Sure.
but I'm sure of that. I'm sure they starved to death. I'm sure that they had disease.
Sure it
I'm
was
sure that's
hell.
true, but it wasn't 6 million people.
I don't think so.
You don't think so either?
No, and
We're not allowed to talk about it. So we're gonna get banned for
I
talking
don't
about
give a
this.
shit. I mean, I look at like what happened with COVID, and like that's like my podcast was kind of like born in the fire of that. And then, having on all these doctors, and only now, only recently does YouTube not put a banner on videos that have the word COVID in title. It took 5 years. And now it's all allowed. But what I said back then got me banned, even for interviewing accredited doctors who eventually would go on Rogan, and that's how they became known. But I got banned for them early on, and I don't regret anything at all, 0%. But I remember when Russia invaded Ukraine, the very first episode I did like the next day, and I'm kind of proud that I did this, is I said I know nothing about Ukraine, and whatever I know from Russia is like from Cold War history. And I said this. This is before we sent them a penny of aid. I just said we just came out of COVID, and in hindsight, I can see that it took me a while to realize it because it was happening in real time and I'd never experienced it before. But in hindsight, I can realize, and don't doesn't matter what it is. There was a narrative, narrative A, and everyone followed narrative A in lockstep. And if you didn't follow narrative A, you wanted everyone around you to die. And
Yeah,
everyone just went with that. And I remember saying, I said, right now,
you want to kill grandma?
across, I said, yeah, and right now I go, as somebody, this is in February 2022, I go, as somebody that was banned from all these platforms, and by that time I'd already done 800 episodes. I said my hair is standing up right now because there's a narrative, there's a bunch of stories coming out, and if you question it, you want Ukrainian children to die. And this is, I knew nothing about Ukraine and very little about Russia. I just said, that is my feeling right now. Everyone's doing this in lockstep. Everyone's putting the flag in their bio. And now I look back at it 3.5 years later, and I'm kind of proud of myself. I go, yeah, that was absolute horseshit. So my point is saying that is when I see people on Twitter going, hey, it's over. Trump said it's behind us. MAGA needs to move on. No, 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 no. There are very few things in this life that are purely black and white. I think you and I talked about this last week, and I'll sum it up really quickly. I get that war is hell, and I get that there are civilian casualties, and in World War II, a bombing formation would miss and hit a town. I get it. That's sad. That's horrific. That's war, and that's what happens when 85 million people die. It's not all wrapped up in a bow. There are some things where you have to draw a line around and go, yes, most things in life
Yeah,
is a gray area. What is not a gray area is the forcibly penetration of children's orifices. Call it what it is. Don't call it Epstein Island. That whitewashes it. Calling it grown men putting their penises in children. That's what it is. And if we can't wrap that around and go, that is the Alamo, that is the line you don't step back on, I don't give a fuck if it's Trump or if it's Biden or if fucking Hulk Hogan's in the White House. I don't care if Joe's in the White House. I would go, hey, I've known Joe for years. He helped out my podcast, but this is horseshit. You have people going, we're done with this. And that's Con Inc. It is no different than the marching orders on the left. It's going, we're not going to talk about this, guys. We're moving forward. MAGA's moving forward. No, it's not.
Yeah,
This
MAGA
is,
doesn't move forward when you
you can't
and
negotiate on that. That's
all right,
so
Tommy,
what? You
how
want the
many
country to
people
fall?
have been
Yes.
arrested? How many
Uh,
people have been arrested?
Ghislaine Maxwell
Yeah, so she was a pimp
and Epstein
for
technically was
Epstein.
arrested and he's
How
gone.
many people? How many people inside of the government have been arrested?
Zero,
How many politicians have been arrested?
zero,
Prominent lawyers,
zero,
Hollywood characters,
zero,
sports people.
zero.
So no one that raped children, thousands of them. No one that raped children is going to jail. You have thousands to choose from. You can't even get one.
If they were all turning up dead, I'd go, well, you can't arrest them because they're gone. But that's not the case. That's also legally, it's not a call to violence. But not a single one.
Our country is run by monsters.
Literal
I mean, that's really
satanic
what it comes down
pedophiles.
to. I mean, I don't think President Trump is. I think President Trump's an honorable man. He had the opportunity to step out of it and he didn't. But if you're asking me if anyone that would, somebody could give me a script and say, Joe, read this script. This is 100%, by the way, the direction. This is what you're going to think. I would tell them to piss off. I'd be like, wait, what? You want me to do what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
I'd make a podcast out
Oh.
of it. I'd read it on air.
And look, they've tried and you found out the hard way that getting canceled is it's a tough road back because no matter what you do, even if you play by their rules, they're still going to suppress you.
Yeah.
You still don't get to talk at all. There's no speaking for you. So what do you do with that information?
I think that's where it comes into, are you rooted with God? And not just in a way that sounds nice. Oh yeah, no, I'm God first. But you actually have to, if let's say the local police came and arrested you, and then you get a call from like Trump and he's like, I'm sending federal agents to get you, you're free. That's a higher authority, and you go, I'm not worried about the cops. Fucking, Delta Force is coming to get me. That's how I
Yeah.
view God. I go, U.S. government, yeah, they're pretty intimidating. I'll hand it to them. Military industrial complex. You guys got some weapons, but I answer to God in the same way that if I knew Delta Force was on my side, I wouldn't worry about mall cops. In that same sense, I don't worry about the CIA or Delta Force or whoever. I have no doubt that they can kill me 6 ways from Sunday, but I answer to God, and it's more than just a phrase. I answer to God. You go, well, what do you actually answer to God? And I go, yeah, yeah, I do. I don't want to die. I'm 34. I'd like to have a wife and kids one day. But no, you have to ask yourself in the quiet of your own mind, are you okay with answering to God with your current actions? And then I go, yeah, yeah, I am. Right now I die. I gotta go talk to God. I go, hey, and I know I put my best foot forward. I did my best during COVID. I tried my hardest. Everything else, I'm a bit of a fuck up, and I understand if you don't like me, God, but I tried my hardest, and I tried my hardest, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So I think God gives you a pathway, right? You got to follow it. You got to follow that path.
Yeah.
And
And it sucks.
but I still can't get over the ridiculousness of what we actually deal with on a regular basis. I mean, it's debilitating. I mean, think about it.
By design.
So there's a thing that came out. I got a text message from a friend, and he's like, Joe, just so you know, there's an entire thing with Cash Patel who now wants a new G650 or G700. So it's out there right now so that the FBI director can have one of the biggest, most plush planes out there. Kash Patel can have that. Why should he have a G700 again as the FBI director? He's got a G550 right now. But G550 is not enough. Why?
Make them drink the Kool-Aid.
No. Look, this is, I mean, this is the ridiculousness of our society is that they have built a fraternity. I mean, Kash Patel has his own fraternity. He can go buy a plane, say, I'm going to get a couple of extra planes, and here, Dan Bongino, they're all getting criticized. You know, Dan wasn't going to step out of the FBI. Why would you step out of the FBI? You got the biggest slush fund in the world. And everybody said, oh, he'll be gone the next month. I don't believe Kash Patel will be gone. I don't believe that Dan Bongino is going to step down. Why would you? You can go live the highest life ever, go jet set with billionaires, people that don't care about regular people, and you get to milk off the American people's money while you do it, and there's no consequences. Like nobody's ever going to hold you accountable. How many people again were arrested?
Sure.
Okay, so what's the chances of this ever changing? Kash Patel and Dan Bongino ever being held accountable, even if they, rob Fort Knox? Zero.
Yeah.
I'll say it for you. And this is why you can't look at the news. So I'll take it a step further. You can't look at the news not because of the news cycle and the fact that when it bleeds, it leads. You can't read the news because you can innately see. I think that every human being has a system of fairness built into them. I think some people are retarded and they go off the deep end, but a vast majority of people just see things in black and white. And even if they don't say something, so their subconscious sees it and goes, that's just not right. Right. And that's what we're dealing with right now. Kash Patel literally has two things out to get a couple new airplanes. The Epstein file won't go away. I'm not sure even that they as they talk about it now, and I wasn't saying Charlie Kirk is having to backtrack saying that everyone misunderstood one of the comments he said where we need to move on. He said we need to move on, and that his comments one sentence got taken out of context. See, that's how they can answer. The left and the right, that's how you know they're the same.
Mm-hmm.
They will just come out and say they took me out of context. And then no one will go research it to see if it's taken out of context because they're dumber than a bunch of rocks. So you got absolute dummies, you have bots, and then you have the fraternity behind you that are just repeating what you say. And so you never have a chance to get through it before everyone has ridiculed you over telling the truth. Truth doesn't even matter. So who's better? What we have now that said that I'm sitting on this file, I'm doing all this great stuff. I broke down President Trump's thing where he said, stop talking about Epstein, right? A couple of days ago. And he talked about all these great things he's doing. I've solved all these wars overseas and I've secured the border. And I'm like, okay, well, that checks. Securing the border is kind of cool, right?
Sure.
But what else? What on the list of 100 priorities, what got done? On the list of 100 priorities, how many do you think on the list of 100 got done so far? And we're only 7 months in. So
Yeah, sure. I'll give credit to border. I'll give credit to the pardons of the J6 people. I will give credit to I think you got the big tech people on board saying they'll stop all the censorship, or I don't know if that's him, so I won't give it to him.
I'll give it to him. Just give it to him.
Okay, sure.
Stat those.
Three.
Yeah.
Transgender and military. That's combat ineffectiveness. It's what it is. It's not hatred. If you want to be trans, go for it. I don't care. I'll give they just removed all the bureaucratic red tape on building drones in the United States. That was a major thing that was giving China a leg up, so that boosts the economy.
It did.
Okay.
All right, so let me just tell you everything
five.
You said.
Yeah.
Those 5 things. Let's start with the first one. Closing the border. What did that take? How long did that take?
Like 48 hours.
Okay.
Didn't he send the Marines like immediately?
So he solved that problem in 48 hours. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, done. Right.
Yeah.
48 hours is done. That decision was made,
Yeah.
and boom, it was done.
Yeah.
Right. So it was tactical. Would you agree it's tactical?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What's the next one? Give me the next one. Transgender in the military. Right. How long did that take?
I don't know. I feel like it was pretty quick.
I mean,
First
how long
month,
is it going to
maybe.
take?
I don't
How
remember.
long does it take the CEO to say, shing, ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding,
Yeah. I don't know how long it
and
was.
it's done, right?
Yeah.
But was it a long time?
I actually don't remember. A month maybe.
No, it took 1 day.
Oh, okay. All
It
right.
was a tactical decision.
Yeah. Keep talking,
Now,
turn.
implement. What's that?
Turn it off here.
So implementation took, probably took 2 weeks, but it took 1 day. Letting the J6ers out. Bing, shing, a ling, 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 ling.
Oh yeah, that was day
He
one, wasn't
signed the
it?
pardon. Done. Right? Reversing Biden area executive orders. Done. So there's a lot of tactical things that were done. Now,
First
at the
day of
end of the
his
day,
sorry, first day of his first term in 2016, he nixed the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. First day.
yeah, yeah, NAFTA, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have all this stuff that gets done, and you look at the stock market goes up, and we got the big beautiful bill, which gives us a tax write-off. But let's talk about the tactical things that people care about, right? Department of Education is still pushing down some really awful stuff to children. Say whatever you want. None of that's changed. It hasn't changed. It has not changed. Stuff that is even more important, that takes more time, is not done. And you know that it's not going to get done because they're telegraphing. We need to get to the bottom of the 2020 election being stolen, right? And they tried to do it in 2024. What's wrong with that statement?
I don't know.
How are you going to get rid of it if you don't get rid of the machines and mail-in ballots? Why
Oh
are you
yeah.
staying away from the cause that got you there? Why are you saying it was stolen? What you're saying, it was stolen with what? They have a gun? They have a knife? They just start chopping people,
Yeah.
right?
Didn't
No,
didn't
they
they
use the machines.
didn't they just pass some, and I could be wrong in this, didn't they pass something like last week? The the database that's gonna make it pretty much impossible to vote without an ID, which I'm not a fan of a database, but just to play devil's advocate, isn't that something they passed in like the last week?
No,
Oh.
look. Oh my
But
gosh,
even that
this is
doesn't
the
matter
part.
because you show up with an
It doesn't
ID, but
matter.
who's controlling the machines? Got it.
How do you know how many people voted?
Yeah.
How do you know how they voted?
Yeah.
How do you know how you voted after you voted?
It's gotta be paper ballot.
It's got to be paper ballot, in person, precinct counting.
Same day,
You
same day.
decentralize things. If
We can
Look,
do it with the National
decentralization
Guard.
is the
Yeah.
one, but we can't do that. We can't even talk about it. We can't even talk about it. I spent 5 years fighting this deal, and I get there's selfish people that don't want to talk about Epstein. It has nothing to do with Epstein. It has to do with the fact that everyone wants to play politics and call it politics while you lie to the American people and you don't solve the problem. And I hate getting on here and just being negative
Yeah.
because then I feel like I'm being negative. But tell me how else I'm supposed to see it when we don't even solve the most basic problems. Closing the border took tactically no time at all. Getting rid of machines and mail in ballots. Who owns the machine companies, Tommy?
Dominion and Diebold.
Private equity firms. Private equity owns every single one of them. So private equity owns Dominion, private equity owns ESNS, private equity owns Smartmatic, all private equity. Why would private equity invest in election machines? Why?
Pretty good ROI.
How good is the ROI if you can basically control the the carry of information and who's in
Office.
power.
Mm. I would
You
imagine
you
that is up there with Epstein blackmail in terms of leverage.
okay, then why is it that there are so many people that are associated with government that are also associated with these companies? And why are they the worst people of the worst? That I mean, as you start researching them, you have the Ryan Macias and all these other stuff, just really bad people, right? They just have you can watch one of their interviews and know that they have no idea what they're talking about, that they're a paper tiger. And you have guys like Alex Halderman who say that they're experts in election integrity, election fraud, right? The machine security, and yet they can't even talk about basic principles around the election system unless they're directed for a specific question. Can't no, they can't ask any none, no questions. Can't answer them. So we're not actually solving the problem. We're servicing the symptom. So we close the border. It's great. Close the border. To happen in 48. Anything you can happen in 48 hours can be undone in 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Addressing the machines is you have to ban them. You have to break down the apparatus. You have to attack the people who are literally attacking the American people. And there's no appetite for that. Show me where the appetite is for that. Anywhere. They already told you that Epstein doesn't matter. How many other things did they told us that don't matter? Move past it. Move past it. Move past it.
So I'll say what I've said on other shows in that I don't want Trump to be implicated in the Epstein files. That is a
No.
bias that I have to recognize. In the same way, the UFO poster, I want to believe. That's like why I don't do too many UFO episodes because I know I'm not
Yeah.
biased. I want to believe. I want to
You
believe.
do?
I want, of
You
course,
want a flying saucer?
anything. It's just the whole thing is just a rabbit hole of possibility, whatever. Versus, bring something on I don't care about. I can be a little more, unbiased. When I look at, so I'm biased. I don't want Trump to be involved in that. But this is what I said is if Biden's in office right now, or Kamala, or Vivek, or anyone that I don't like, if they're in office and they say Epstein didn't have a client list and he killed himself, 10 out of 10 times, my reflexive response is he's a pedophile. He's on the fucking list. 10 out of 10 times. And I don't say that when Trump is in office. And I have to look at that and go, I'm not being intellectually honest. Anyone else says that line of horse shit. No client list and he killed himself. I go, oh, he's a pedophile. He's on the list. 10 out of 10 times. Why is the dog in the corner with his tail between his legs? Oh, he definitely ate the steak and now he's scared. Any other time, but if Trump's in office, my brain goes, well, he's maybe there's nothing he can do about it. Maybe he's on the list. And if he's on the list, I'd also say, hey, give the people a bunch of little things, close the border, blah, 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 but don't touch the big things, which is the client list and the voting machines. That tells me that those are the non-negotiable DEFCON ones. You can give everybody some DEFCON 5432s. You can call AOC a dumb bitch or whatever. None of that, but the real things that matter, the foundational pieces that hold up the building of their control, voting machines and blackmail, don't you dare touch those. That's what that tells me. If I'm being honest with myself, and if God's asking me this, what do I truly feel? That's what I truly feel. Is he has to be implicated.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite.
Okay,
And let me tell you why.
sure.
Who had control over the Epstein list when Biden was in office?
I guess
Did Trump
the
have control of
DOJ.
it?
No.
So Merrick Garland did.
Yeah. And the fair point is if they're willing to kill Trump, they're willing to release Epstein files on him. So
Yes.
that's the counterpoint to my. I forgot to say that.
Yes.
That was my counterpoint. Is
Yeah.
if they hadn't tried to kill them, I go maybe they still have him. But if you try to blow his head off, you would have
Twice.
absolutely tried to first take him down with Epstein files. So that's the counterpoint. So what's true then?
Yeah. So
If he just
I'm trying to keep you intellectually honest,
yeah, no, that's no,
right?
you are. No,
By
that's
playing
fair.
chess.
That is fair.
So
So
the
then what's going on?
let's hypothetically say it, look at this way, right? So I want you to eventually get here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, right now I have you here.
Yeah.
And so you're asking questions and they go boop, 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 boop. You finally get here.
Yeah.
Right. And so then I give you some more questions and you're like boop, 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 boop. Get back over here.
Yeah.
Now remember, I want you to be over here, but I want you to be fully sure that you're over here.
Yeah.
So then I got you back all the way over here, and then I'm like, oh, but what about this and this and this? And you're like, boop, 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 boop. Now you're firmly planted. You're exactly where I want you to be, and you're entrenched. Nobody's going to convince you otherwise.
Yeah.
So the idea is that they tell you something, they take you somewhere to take you somewhere else to take you right back there. President Trump's not on that list.
Okay.
President Trump was the only one in 2007, 2008 when he was questioned by the FBI to fully cooperate and say, come in, I got nothing to hide. Come in and sit down with me. I will give you all the information. I'll give you all the time you need. Come sit with me.
Hmm.
He's also the guy that had special or Secret Service and ex FBI guys that surrounded him at all times when he was in New York City. And they would say that this guy is above reproach. It doesn't mean that he didn't have his foibles and that he didn't love
Sure.
women. He
Sure.
did.
Yeah, sure. But that's
But
very
what
different from Epstein.
that's very different. He didn't take what I don't believe that President Trump took what was not his to take. That's the difference. The
Hey,
people that rape women
he's a
or rape
billionaire
children,
alpha. He's gotten laid. Yeah, it's
yeah, I mean,
surprise.
he can get what he wants.
Sure.
And frankly, it took me a long time to figure out that, and this was actually a big problem for me because I knew that I could have whatever I wanted. Right? I'm
Sure.
sorry, but I mean that there's the before Jesus, after Jesus. Before Jesus, I could have whatever I wanted.
Sure.
If I wanted her, I got her.
Yeah.
Right? And the bad part about that is that you violate everything about yourself in order to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean you don't learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I don't believe he's on the list. I don't believe he's on the list because they had an opportunity to destroy him. Right? And that's why I don't believe he's on the list. And I believe there's a lot of people on that list, like the ex-prime minister of Israel that's on that list, and Mossad people. And
Yeah.
I believe that Epstein was definitely Mossad and CIA.
Yeah, and that's the counterpoint that I posited to myself was, okay, so you're willing to steal an election, you're willing to do all the fake dossier, you're willing to COVID him, you're willing to summer of love him, you're willing to 34 felony count, you're willing to raid Mar-a-Lago. All of these things are escalations, and then they go to kill him. It's like, no, there is one more in between, and it would be,
Yeah,
and you
destroy
could
him.
say, let's say you're on the other side, you go, we have these Epstein files, but if we release them on him, we're going to burn a lot of other assets. I can see them going, this is worth it. We want this guy out. They didn't do that. And they jumped to shoot him. That doesn't logically make sense on an escalation ladder.
You know,
But
they couldn't take him out. And here's another thing I will tell you. I know for a fact in 2024 that they had to let President Trump win. They did the math. They did all the math.
just
They're
impossible
like,
to steal.
President Trump has to win. Huh? No,
But
no, it was
impossible to
possible for them
steal
to steal it.
or
They could have
just
stolen it. They could have
no, no,
stolen
no.
it.
I guess I mean in any sort of believable way.
Let's just look at it this way.
Yeah.
If President Trump was not elected this 4 years and the Kamala got in, it would make him the most popular person in the world 4 years from now. So much say that he would rise to a level of a powerful leader that could
Caesar.
that what's that?
Caesar. Like
Caesar.
Caesar-esque.
Caesar, 100%. Worse than Caesar. Because keep in mind, he had already had a couple assassination attempts against him.
Hmm.
And what did he say? Fight, fight, fight. You man, I'm telling you what. Every every boy in the world would want to be like Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, fight. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You take me out. That's fine. He would rise to the level. You know what? It's like Doc Holliday,
Yeah.
the cool, collected, but punch him in the throat, shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
Right. That would have been President Trump, and they needed to bring that back down. Number one, and number two, they needed him to finish out his threat against that position. In other words, he can only be president twice.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
And that's something I've thought of is like, is there a calculation where they go,
Yes.
let him run 4 years and then it's done?
Who
I think there is. I think that's a huge
I
calculation.
I don't think President Trump realizes this part. I don't think he's had the aha moment. So I'll just give it to you,
I hadn't
President
thought
Trump.
about
Here's the
that
deal.
before you said it would be, yeah, that would be, think of how, like I always said, if they had just let him win in 2020, it'd be over by now. But now he's back with a vengeance. And you're saying, now what if that happened again?
It
Even
can't
more
happen again.
extreme vengeance. But now it
Yeah, but
can't.
it can't. Yeah, no, yeah. So it can't.
Uh,
The vengeance coming in 4 years. Who's going to replace Tommy? Who's going to replace President Trump?
it doesn't
I'll
matter
wait
who
here.
because it can't be him. It won't be him.
It won't be him. So who's going to do? Look, you have
Oh
Lindsey Graham that you know is playing ball for somebody else.
yeah, fuck that
You
guy.
have Susan Rice that it took a civilian uncovering that she was on a group and was overseeing a board in the government. Susan Rice is probably one of the most evil people you'll ever meet, right? You're President Trump, and every time you whistle in the direction of someone, everyone lines up and does exactly what you want them to do, right? Oh yeah, we just need to get rid of it. I mean, Charlie Kirk. Rah, 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 rah. Who's going to be president after President Trump? Who's going to be strong and hang his wiener out all the way to the floor every single day and not give a crap about what happens next? Who?
The only comparable person would be someone who can't run, and I would say probably like Elon Musk. It's probably the next closest, but he can't. Which I wonder, is that what the American Party is? Is him going, I can't be president, but maybe I can.
Well, but Elon, you got to love him, but he's got like 100 kids
Sadistic.
with like 99 different women,
He's
right?
not Caesar. He's Genghis Khan, and I kind of love him.
I mean, you have to love the guy, but
Yeah.
he does need Jesus in a
Yeah.
really
No,
big
no,
way.
he does.
Yeah, but you have to look at it from the perspective of what comes next. We're not prepared for it. We're 7 months into this, and 2026 can be a bloodbath for Republicans, and they're already counting the narrative right now. And the narrative will be set, and you'll have no way to do anything about it.
So if you're Trump, and
Right?
this is something I've thought about. So if you're Trump and you know that, you would also be maybe that level of vengeance, maybe that coal, that like remaining ember that might be in him to go, how much of an impact can I leave before I get like there's no second term. I'm in my 80s. I have billions. I would hope that we're both wrong in a couple months. Like, I can't believe he got rid of voting machines. Like, I can't believe he actually released the client list. Like, maybe his thing is like, I'm going to leave a big enough of an impact that it won't matter who comes next because the system will be shifted at the core. That's what I hope. That's what I pray for.
Okay, but hope. Let me tell you what. You know what hope stands for?
What?
Hope in one hand, a pile
Shit.
of shit in the
No,
other. Which
no,
one?
yeah.
you
Yeah.
you have to. I mean, you fundamentally have to look at it from a standpoint of like we're
Who's
not
gonna?
war gaming. We're
Yeah.
not playing chess. We're playing checkers. We're like somebody move it just up one spot, and I hope he doesn't jump me.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, rook to king, checkmate. We're like, what just happened? I thought I was playing checkers.
Yeah.
Oh, you're playing chess? That's some bullshit. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Right? President Trump can only find someone like him in the public. He can only instill a ethos in society by giving them free and fair elections. You can't replace President Trump. You don't have enough safety valves out there to make President Trump to carry it on. The
Yeah.
only way you can carry it on, it's the only possibility to carry it on. There's only one possibility. You know what that is?
Fair elections. That's the best.
Fair elections,
That's the
restoration.
if he did one thing, that would be the most important. Because everything else, budget, geopolitical interests, intelligence agencies, that would all be trickled back to, well, who'd you put in office?
Right.
It would actually mean something.
Because the people that were in office would have to learn to play ball. And if they did play ball, the people don't have an appetite for it anymore.
A free, fair election to
I
be
mean,
removed. Yeah.
right. So keep in mind that the people that are out there, when we start talking about people, there's a lot of people out there in society that are silenced, that are misrepresented or slandered, present company included, and they don't, but they're not afraid to fight, and they're just like what President Trump wants, but they have the ability to influence other people in the communities. That's what he needs to do. He needs to create a lot of Trump people that are true people, not con Inc. That can't be controlled. That can carry forward with the idea, the ethos of what he's trying to accomplish.
I mean, in a poetic way, it really is kind of like the American dream. It's the opportunity. You're guaranteed nothing, but you're at least given the opportunity. Because there are a
Yeah,
lot of good people in this country who would probably be kept out by voting machines, 4 a.m. ballot dumps. There are good, you're not going to find a Trump, but you could, I guarantee you there's no shortage of good people who would go in there and truly give it their best. Yeah, that would be the ace card. That would be the foundational piece, is if you could do
because
that.
you couldn't control it.
Yeah.
You couldn't control it. And then people would run for office that are competent. Like I'd run for office. I'd run for governor and
I,
I'd win.
I'd do it one day. Yeah, no, I would do it one day.
I would run for the governor of Colorado and I would win. And you'd see the shift across legislations across the state, and it would go from blue to red overnight. And you would see communities that get restored to a place of solace. And you would also be able to get rid of bad judges. And there's so many bad judges, it's hard even to keep up. It's craziness, huh?
That would be, yeah, that would be the one. Yeah, and it's kind of, again, it's kind of poetic. It would be the one thing you can't control, including him. And
Yeah.
it'd be like if some leftist got in office, well, then you'd actually go, I guess the people want that. And that would be the
And
truth.
it's okay. If
And it's
if the
okay
people elect it,
if that's what the,
right.
yeah, I mean, and that would be, which
Show me one society that has gone that direction where the people are happy. One. I mean, you have it in London, UK. People that are miserable. They're miserable.
yeah,
They want to get rid of the king and queen of England, and they want to get rid of the government, who, by the way, puts in radicals into positions of trust and authority on a
of course,
normalized basis.
of course.
Show me another country that's not an. Show me any country in the world where the people are satisfied with the government.
Yeah.
There aren't any. It's a slave culture, man. Where it's literally a slave culture. And I'm talking about left and right.
Yeah.
There's not a society out there where the people feel like they're being protected. Name one. Any. I'd take a small country.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one of those uncontacted,
Tommy Stan. Huh? What?
one of those uncontacted islands. What is it? The Sentinel tribe, where there's like 20 people on an island that have never left in like 80,000 years.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, this is the Sentinel Island, I think. Sentinelese. It's a
They have
small
like,
group. They've never been contacted. They don't know the modern world exists. Some guy went there and they killed him. Helicopters go
oh,
there
that,
and they throw spears at it.
oh, yeah. Is that a real thing, though?
I mean, that's right. There's more than one uncontacted tribe. I think the other ones were in the Amazon and they eventually got contacted, but this one's on an island and they can't leave. They might be happy.
I don't think so.
I don't think they are either.
So the person that went there contacted them, and
He went there and tried to
so
like
they
talk to him, and I think they ate him.
did they really?
Yeah, these people are savages. They're legitimate savages. So look up Sentinel Island.
I'm trying to
It's
right now.
legit. They go crazy. They see
Sen-
Black Hawk helicopters. I mean, they've never seen anything that big or that loud, and it's hovering, and they throw spears at it. And you know what? I kind of don't even blame them. Like, you know?
All right, hold on. It's
Yeah,
called Sentinel Island.
yeah, let me make sure it is. I'll Google it. It's very real. Yeah, Sentinel Island. The Sentinelese. I can't say it. Sentinelese. Yeah. Island in India. It's one of the Andaman Islands, an Indian archipelago in the Bay of Bengal, which also includes South. The island is, yeah.
All right.
They've been by themselves, I mean, legitimately for millennia.
Sentinelese. The exact number of Sentinelese people remaining is unknown, but estimates range from 50 to 500. Due to isolation and hostility towards outsiders, it's difficult to get an accurate count. Most estimates place the population between 50 and 200 individuals.
Yeah.
What happens if you go to the North Sentinel Island? The islands have been observed shooting arrows at boats as well as other low-flying helicopters. Such attacks have resulted in injury and death. What do the Sentinelese eat? People. Just kidding. Fish, fruits, tubers. I guess tubers.
Yeah,
YouTubers.
you
I'm here to help you.
you know they eat people. But that's
Yeah.
not a very good data point. If that's the only thing I can think, the only thing I can think of where they're happy with their government is the country without government or written language or seemingly close.
Yeah. It talks about why they want to be left alone. History of no experiences with outsiders and a desire to protect their way of life.
That probably applies to UFOs,
Wow.
man.
This is crazy.
It's a head trip, dude.
They say that they're not in the Stone Age. This is crazy. Unbelievable.
Oh, dude, it's a rabbit hole. It's crazy going to think that like the modern world with Uber Eats and Facebook exists around them.
I
So you
wonder
got
who's happier,
you got to
them or
wonder,
us.
are we a Sentinel Island in the Milky Way?
How does Sentinelese sleep? They sleep on the ground inside. You know what? I know exactly how to get in there where they won't try to kill you. You bring them a sleep number bed.
They'll
Yeah.
fucking kill
I
you.
mean, that's
I think you got to bring food. I think you got to
they'll
bring
kill you and
food.
take your mattress.
Yeah, they'll light
Bring
it on
food.
fire. They don't know what it is. I think if you brought food,
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
but
I think if
they'd
you
probably get
released
sick.
from Kentucky Fried Chicken,
They probably have no idea how to digest it. It's they've never had it before. You give them like a Twinkie, they probably puke. I don't
I
imagine
hadn't
there's
even
a
thought
scenario
about
where
that.
you're not like raped and killed, and not necessarily in that order. Like I don't know. Like, dude, it is you
I
can't go
don't
there.
really have any interest in going there. Yeah, you should do it. You should try it.
I'm quite all
Okay,
right.
let's try
I'm
it.
quite all right.
I think we should send Epstein's people there.
Yeah, here's a new
Say,
island.
listen, if you can survive
You
getting
guys
on the
like
island,
Caribbean islands?
if you can survive that,
Hey, you guys like islands with no
it's
one else keeping an eye on you? You guys like going off grid?
go mess with their kids, see what happens.
Yeah.
The poke you full of holes. All right, I gotta get back to work. We talked about a lot of stuff.
This is fun.
President Trump's not on the list. He's
Sentinel.
not on the list, and
I'm
Sentinelese
gonna call
want
it Sentinel
to
Island.
want to
I'm
eat
not
people.
again. I'm not. That's what I'm gonna make that thumbnail. Sentinel Island. I'm just gonna completely throw people for a
Yeah,
loop.
I I think that, and it's off the shore of India. Do you think that they have been offshore? Do you think they've taken? Because if you can get there by via boat, then they can get off via boat.
But I don't think they've developed boats.
Yeah, they are. They have boats that they have in the middle of of the water.
I guess it depends
They
how
hunt for
far.
fishing.
I guess it
Yeah.
depends. Well, how far is the trip? I mean, they've probably tried and died. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
why not just not kill somebody that comes over to say hi to you, is like take their boat. And they probably taken people's boats that have come over there.
But
So
so you
they
gotta
probably
think
have
it.
plenty of boats.
But you gotta think it's like there is no history to learn from, so they don't know about other countries that have done this. Where we go, hey, don't take their. They have no point of reference. It's just them. So a boat comes. Maybe the last boat that came, everyone that witnessed that was dead. Maybe it was their great grandparents. So it's like a form of amnesia almost. Like every day is the first day. They
Let,
probably
let's
don't know
say
what this
that
shit
there's
is.
let's say that there's 200 people there, right? Say that's true, right? Hypothetically. Um, how do they not interbreed?
They have to. They have to, I would imagine, probably be severely retarded. I mean,
Which is
legitimately,
why they're killing people.
probably.
Huh?
It's probably like it's probably like a 50 IQ. Like you absolutely are inbred. That is absolutely like the worst, the best
50
breed.
IQ, and they killed people that think that they're really smart to go there. I'm trying to figure out who's smarter.
I think they are, man. You're in clear blue waters, no light pollution every night. See the Milky Way. You know everyone. They're not getting any negative news from around the world. They don't care about
Can't read.
they can't read. They don't care about LA riots. It's just they're all right there. All your homies know each other. And every once in a while a UFO appears and you fucking try to kill it.
Yeah.
I don't
All
know
right.
if they're wrong.
No, no, they're not. All right.
I don't think they have a pedophile parasitic class.
Yeah. No, I
So
don't think they do.
yeah, so they're ahead of us. They are more civilized than us.
Yeah.
That they don't let pedophiles run their island.
Well, I gotta say this: if you want to watch Tommy's podcast, it will be filled with information and really great guests.
Yeah, thank you,
You
sir.
can go to untamednation.com and do that. I
Yes,
watch
sir.
it.
Yeah, thank you, sir. If you want to
All right.
wrap it up, I'm gonna make you do what you always do and finish this with a prayer because I do enjoy your prayers.
All right. Let's go. Father God, thank you for just the blessings that you put in our lives. I know that we missed that through all the turmoil. And Father, thank you for the relationship you've given us. Thank you for the families that we have. Thank you for the life that you've breathed into each one of our existences. Father, we ask you to give us the strength and the ability to stand up and do the right thing and to help be able to solve complex problems that probably aren't that complex. Help us, Father, we may stay focused on restoration, restoring you to our community, to our country, and to the world. And help us, Father, we may be a good example even when we feel like we just want to go kind of handle it ourselves. We know that we have to rely on you. Father, we know we're heading into some just rough waters, and we don't really know what how to solve any of this. And so we will rely on you, Father. But I just ask that you give us the strength and the wisdom and the tenacity and the patience to be able to stand together and to set aside petty differences and do what is necessary in order to protect the people. But I ask these things humbly in Jesus' name. Amen.
And Joe,
All right.
love you, brother. Always love
Love you too,
talking to
brother.
you. I just you
I'm gonna
always say
drop a bomb on you.
Hold on, you always do say when we do shows, I'm sorry for being negative. You're not negative, man. You're talking about the issues. I appreciate
Yeah.
the manners, but you're not negative. You're addressing if you called me every hour of every day, told me how negative I might block you. But that's not the
Yeah.
case. I would say, Joe, you're being
uh,
negative. No, you're
so by the way, I'm in the RCIA process now at the Catholic Church.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool deal actually.
What
Pretty
does that
excited
all
about it.
entail? RCIA.
Just becoming a Catholic.
Oh,
It's pretty neat.
it is pretty neat. I'll
Yeah.
welcome as an Irish Catholic, I'll welcome you.
There you go.
All
All
right.
right. God bless you, brother.
Yes,
See you
sir. You
soon.
as well. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching.